My name is Liz Partsch.
And I am Cold. And I'm also Paul Rowley.
And welcome to Farm and Dairy's Weekly Rundown.
We will be giving you a rundown of all of the news from the past week.
Yeah.
As we do.
Yeah. Some exciting news.
We have some exciting news. Yeah. It's a fun, I think it's a pretty good, solid issue of the paper.
Yeah. Well, you want to kick us off?
I sure could. Okay. Well, okay. So I'm going to share like a personal fact about myself for you, Liz, and also for our audience. So one thing about me that is probably blasphemous, since I write for a publication called Farm and Dairy, is that I abhor milk. I hate milk. Sorry.
Oh, do you really want to admit that to the readers, Paul? You're going to get
We're going to get hate mail.
Yeah, but I say, you're going to get hate mail.
I don't like the taste of it.
I will not admit anything.
I don't like the taste of it. I don't like the consistency of it.
Huh.
I don't. Yeah.
You don't even like milkshakes or anything? Or like,
I do like milkshakes.
You just don't like milk.
I'm not a total
freak. But you like milk products.
Right. Yes. Ice cream,
What about
milkshakes.
chocolate milk?
No.
Okay, just all milk is out.
Yeah. Pretty much all milk is out.
Even like the alternative milks?
No. I'm glad you brought this up.
We should probably draw the line there, though, because we're really going to get into hate. Yeah, because,
Right. I do like vanilla flavored almond milk. I will have that like in my cereal.
Very specific.
Yeah. Because, and here's the thing that's weird. Like, hear me out, please. It is the way that I remember milk tasting when I was younger and used to drink milk regularly. I don't know why, but it's like when I have vanilla flavored almond milk, it's like I enjoy it and it tastes the way I remember milk tasting. And now, as I've gotten older, milk no longer tastes good to me at all. But that it's like, oh, a refreshing glass. Not that I am even big on like having a glass of vanilla flavored almond milk, but if I am like having a bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch or Raisin Bran, my two go-tos for cereal, I will use that. Or like in my coffee or something like that. Like if someone's like, oh, like would you like whole milk? No, I would not. Mm-hmm. But I will take almond milk or oat milk, one of those substitutes. They're not real, I don't think. I don't know what they are, but they are derived from almonds and oats, apparently. I couldn't tell you what else about them. So that's it. So anyway, don't hate me.
Everybody is allowed to have their own taste and preferences.
Sorry. Thank you. So anyway, as for what I wrote about in the paper, so I guess I will break into that and segue. And I wrote about how the President Donald J. Trump, signed the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act, which is a bill aimed at bringing whole and 2% milk back to school cafeterias. This signing and the journey that this bill took to becoming law is an example of like very rare bipartisan cooperation in Congress, which is that most people were in agreement that the elimination of whole and 2% milk from school cafeterias from I think the Obama years, many people believe that was a mistake, and so now it has been restored. And so what's happening? The U.S. House of Representatives approved this act, the Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act of 2025 by a voice vote on December 15th. The Senate earlier approved the legislation by unanimous consent, which is like, when have you ever heard of that? And then it headed to the president's desk where Trump signed it on January 14th. So that's great for the people who love whole milk, dairy producers. Very excited, obviously. One person who is definitely excited, I've worked very hard to make sure that I pronounce this gentleman's name correctly, is William Tielli. I think that's right.
Yeah.
He is a dairy farmer. He milks about 40 cows on 300 acres in Pennsylvania, in addition to serving as a state board director for the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau. And he represents Butler County, as well as Beaver, Lawrence, and Mercer counties as well. So those are his constituency for being on the Farm Bureau. He went to, in person, the Oval Office. He went to the White House. He was invited to go to the White House.
That's super cool.
Very cool. To witness this signing of this legislation. And he also got some FaceTime with Big DT, Donald Trump. So that was very neat. He told me that, well, not Donald Trump. I did not talk to Donald Trump for this story, but Mr. Tielli told me that being recognized in the Oval Office was the culmination of what he described as a rare and memorable experience. It does not happen very often for most people, let alone even just members of the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau. He has been a board member of the Farm Bureau for more than 4 years. And that involvement opened the door to this White House invitation, which is pretty neat. He met cabinet members, including Brooke Rowlands, Secretary of the USDA, who was obviously there and gave some remarks about the significance of the passage of this legislation. He also met Health and Human Service Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and that photo is actually accompanying the article in the paper.
Awesome.
So it's very cool. So for more details about what they talked about, including Donald Trump realizing that a person from Butler County, where he survived an assassination attempt on the campaign trail, was in attendance.
Well, he was in attendance actually at that exact event that he was
at the assassination.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Okay,
that.
but just like
he hails from Butler County. Yes. So in that he was like, oh, that Butler County.
Oh yeah.
And then they had some fun repartee a little bit, which I include in the article. And it was very cool. So check out the article. I believe it is on the front page of this week's paper.
Yeah.
And that was a good time. So I'm going to pass it over to you now. Yeah.
Well, I'd like to pitch into this milk debate real quick before I move on. I'd like to say, pitching in my 2 cents, that I firmly believe that whole milk is dairy milk is the best, without a doubt, milk.
Yeah.
And I've had this realization because I've tried lots of milks. Over the years.
Like a taste test thing?
Not really, kind of. Okay. I'll just say milk doesn't like me back. I like the taste of milk. Milk doesn't like me.
Right.
Which has led me to have to try other alternatives just because of that.
Yeah.
But I miss it a lot. I do think dairy milk is just the best in terms of like nutrition. And taste. Mm-hmm. So also very good with like coffee. I think it's the best in like coffee, and it heats up the best with coffee too. Mm-hmm. So
I can't say I remember the last time I like tasted milk, like dairy milk.
You got to get good one. You know, my favorite milk is, shout out to Valewood Farms in Loretto, Pennsylvania. Yeah. That milk, I don't know. It like I swear, like milk from the grocery store does not compare. That milk is the best milk
this is also
I've ever had. Point. And every time I'm up in Johnstown, that's where some of my family lives. Mm-hmm. I always get their milk there. Yeah. It's sold in that around that area. So But yeah, anyways, that's my 2 cents on the milk whole thing. Yeah. So
for anyone contemplating now throwing like a brick through my car window, just before I have more car drama to share, so just please wait until we get to that portion of the program.
Don't break Paul's car for liking oat milk, please.
Right. Thank you.
All right. Well, Paul, sad news. Coal mining communities may yet again be faced with cleaning up pollution they did not cause. After the U.S. Senate passed a bill on January 15th that claws back funding for abandoned mine land reclamation projects.
I don't like the sound of that.
Yes. These projects repair and treat rivers with acid mine drainage, which, if you didn't know, is polluted water from abandoned coal mines that contains highly acidic water with heavy metals. Not good for the environment at all, obviously. Yeah. So known as House Bill 6938, if signed into law by President Donald Trump as it moves on to him next, it will redirect $500 million in funding from the Abandoned Mine Land Fund to wildfire management and national park service operations. Pennsylvania stands to lose the most funding, over $169 million, and West Virginia will lose $97 million. So
that's a lot of money.
That's a huge chunk of money.
Yeah.
This clawback is part of a larger effort by the Trump administration to redirect funds originally appropriated by the former Biden administration. The AML funds, Abandoned Mine Land Funds, were originally designated in Biden's 2021 Bipartisan Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act. That's kind of an example of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
When nonprofit organizations like Friends of the Cheat in Preston County, West Virginia, first heard that this huge chunk of funding through that act I just told you about in 2021 was coming to the state of West Virginia, they were over the moon. This was like very exciting news for everybody, as this funding would allow them to invest in bigger projects as well as maintain water treatment systems that are vital to keeping these rivers with acid mine drainage clean.
Mm-hmm.
Because the funding in the past that they've had hasn't been big enough to support these bigger projects that require lots of money.
Gotcha.
But now, as one of my sources put it, it feels like a broken promise to communities that are already economically destitute from the coal mining industry, as well as cannot enjoy clean water often and recreational activities, as wildlife can't live in streams that are polluted with acid mine drainage. Amanda Pitzer, who's the executive director of the Friends of the Cheat, I talked to her for this story,
Nice.
has seen the important impacts of these projects on the ground over the years that she's been doing this work. And they really do such an important thing for the community, which makes this funding loss so sad. She said to me, seeing people come back to the river, bring their kids and say, I never thought it was going to get better, and it's better. And it gives people hope and inspires people to take on hard problems in their community, she said. And that's the thing that makes me sad about this, is that our local community see this clawback as a broken promise.
Yeah.
So I just really thought that quote was really beautiful, because she talks about how it really gives back hope, which I think is something really important for people to have, to believe that like things that aren't the best can get better. And this funding loss isn't going to make things better. It's going to make it harder for the people that are doing this important work on the ground. So that's a little summary of the story. In the story, I talk more about why acid mine drainage projects are so expensive, what it takes for these projects that factor into this cost, and why they're so important and for these communities. So if you're interested in reading that, you can go to farmingdiary.com or read the front paper of the newspaper this week.
Nice.
So.
It's reminded me, actually, I have not read anything really about this, so I can't I'm not going to talk about it like I'm an armchair expert or anything, but your story reminds me of this other story that's going around that's being talked about right now. It's about clean water. There's a project in Colorado that just had its funding totally wiped. It's not the same. I don't think it's like the water needing to be cleaned is not like comparable to what you just wrote about, but it's made a lot of buzz online. This funding that got clawed back for there, that people are just like bewildered. They're like, what? No, we need clean water in Colorado and like other places. So it's a topical thing right now. I
wouldn't say I'm necessarily surprised, because I think what I've seen in the last 2 years is a lack of prioritizing clean water,
right.
And even going as far as altering laws.
Right, yeah.
And basically almost the complete opposite of protecting clean water.
Yeah.
But, that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. I just wrote that.
I'm not really surprised. I think we're seeing a huge pivot in our just in our government in terms of water.
Right. And the Clean Water Act too is even being narrowed.
As I'm saying, we're seeing, even just like, as you know too, we're seeing a huge like almost reversal in water quality.
Right. But we need clean water, people.
We do. That's
Tell your
important.
legislators.
Yeah.
So sorry.
What do you got for us, Paul?
What indeed? Well, actually, I have a really fun one. Okay.
Oh, nice.
So also, as I think a few weeks ago declared that a personal mission of mine in 2025 is to like write better leads. I think I'm starting out strong for this. This is on page 2 of this week's paper. Well, at least the city hasn't gone to the dogs. Because it's about cats, feral cats.
I like dogs though, Paul.
I do too.
I have to say,
I do too. I do too. Oh, I was doubled over.
I wish there was a laugh button.
I mean, I know we don't have one. We just have the applause. It's not applause worthy, but it gave me a chuckle when it came out of my typing.
Love it. I love it.
I came onto my keyboard. So anyway, Salem, Ohio, our hometown, actually, for Farm and Dairy, is where this story is where I've set this story. And there is apparently in Salem quite a large number of feral cats. In effect, Salem is the center of their world. So anyway, there's many feral cats all over Salem, from our beautiful Centennial Park just down the way from our office of Farm and Dairy, to the, I guess, multiple colonies that live behind our numerous watering holes here in alleyways. They also have gone far into the surrounding neighborhoods in the, just past the town core. And so there's cats all over Salem. And so there are many, many, many places. There is a woman in Salem who I had the privilege to talk to. Her name is Brenda Austin, and she is the project coordinator for Salem's pilot Trap, Neuter, and Return program, which is an acronym for TNR. That is what that is. And she has nearly finished evicting one pesky cat colony from downtown. All she needs, and she's hoping to find some people who can step up and help, are a few, she's thinking farmers, people who have acreage barns, someplace where a feral cat could maybe call home. A few people she's looking for to put the remaining felines to work because these cats are top talent, after all, in the department of hunting mice and other, vermin and whatnot. So she and her fellow volunteers of the TNR program that Salem has provided seed money to in the past, I think last fall, in my article, she are trying to remedy the problem. There's one local business that has been feeding many feral cats for years and not taking any steps to see those cats be neutered or fixed. And so they have multiplied, their numbers have multiplied steadily through this time. Through repeated trapping efforts, most of those cats have been now spayed or neutered. So there's only about 10 that Brenda Austin believes are still at large. The complication, though, is that this business no longer wants the cats returned after they are fixed. So that has led the TNR team scrambling for alternatives, hoping that they can place these animals somewhere where they can safely live quality cat lives without contributing to the problem of uncontrolled reproduction. Ideally, this is an important note, in pairs. They would like these remaining cats to be sent off to their new homes in pairs, where it's believed that they'll have a better chance of acclimating and thriving, so that they can live out the rest of their lives. Have a little friend, kind of double up, Batman Robin kind of situation, getting the mice, and whatever else. And these cats there's a couple of pictures with the article we managed to squeeze onto page 2, including one cat that is lounging in an abandoned car, which is just a fun place for a cat to make a home.
Yeah.
But then just another very striking, I think this cat, and it's probably a little too dark, but on the page, just because this is a black cat, this is Grace Jones. This is Grace Jones. Okay, this is Grace Jones. The striking, oh my goodness. Because Brenda sent me these pictures, and I was like, my goodness, this cat is just,
she's
the cover girl, supermodel of the world. Wow.
Love that.
So very, very fun. But also these cats, these are the cats that have been, trapped and neutered or fixed, and they're now back out there. But we need to get on this problem because, many, many places, Salem is certainly not alone here. Sometimes the feral cat population gets a little bit too unruly, and we need to step in. Just from personal experience, I'm so happy I now have a platform to talk about this. But just from personal experience, I adopted in 2024 as a very spur of the moment, a whim kind of thing, an old street cat. And he had, to the point where he'd been out there for a long time in Cleveland, living coincidentally around the Christmas Story house from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that was his territory apparently. And his name is Rowley because Rowley Avenue is right there where the Christmas Story house, it intersects the street where the Christmas Story house is. It's on the corner of where it intersects with Rowley Avenue. So his government name is Rowley. And love that.
Philip.
Yes, exactly. And he had his little ears clipped at some point. People were tracking him. He is the light of my life. He is my child, my biological child, of course. And just an old man that lives in my house. And he is an absolute delight. So And he was a stray until we brought him in, and he was just like, they had to help him out, of course, and he needed some medical care before I adopted him, and he received that, and he's just doing swimmingly now. So there's definitely hope to be had for, a lot of these cats can be made into wonderful, wonderful companions. Sometimes they are not, though, and they need the kind of their independency, which might yield well to like a barn cat situation. So anyway, Miss Austin is looking for some help to read more about the situation, including her funding challenges for carrying on this program, because she does way more even than just the TNR stuff. She does, well, I'll let you read the article to find out, because like her work is quite a lot, heavy lift, including how you can help support her and like what to do. You can call her, all that kind of contact information, all in the article. Check it out. It is online and in print.
Yeah, and adopt a cat.
A nice old stray cat who might be 7 years old or might be 15. We don't know.
Yeah.
But we just celebrate him every day.
Every cat needs a home.
Every cat needs a home. Yeah. So that's what I got.
Well, I have some unfortunate news. The West Virginia Department of Agriculture recently confirmed bird flu in 2 backyard flocks in Greenbrier and Monongalia. I really want to say Monongahela. Yeah. Monongalia counties. So this marks the 4th and 5th detections of bird flu in domestic birds in West Virginia since the global bird flu outbreak began in 2022.
Oh no.
Yes, both diagnoses were confirmed following field investigations, sample collections, and testing at the West Virginia Department of Agriculture's Animal Health NAHLN lab.
Okay.
The affected site has been placed under quarantine. Mm-hmm. And ironically, this state avoided bird flu cases for almost 2 years and was one of the last states in the U.S. to have a positive case. Its first positive case was in February 2025. Ohio and Pennsylvania have also seen positive cases of bird flu in backyard flocks this year. No commercial flocks, fortunately. And in total, the latest bird flu outbreak has impacted 186 million domestic poultry in 2,029 flocks in 50 states in one territory in the last 3 years. So that's a lot of birds. Yeah. A lot going around. Yeah. Just another update, I guess.
Another update. My goodness.
So that's that's all for me on bird flu.
Okay.
Back to you, Paul.
Okay. Are we doing a segue to like a random conversation?
Sure. I don't have anything planned, but
okay. I have to talk about this. What happened to me yesterday?
Yeah.
Because it also requires my thanks to give to the other person involved in this story. So yesterday was the day that we put out this week's issue of the paper, which you are now hearing about. And I was, by the end of the day, exhausted. I was so tired. Oh my God. And I drove my ailing antique now station wagon back home where I live to the city. And I was on my street, and there is one particular place on my street that I park on the street because my partner parks in the garage that we have, and then our neighbor, who I live in a duplex and they live upstairs, they have gotten into the habit of, they get home earlier than me. Everyone gets home earlier than me. And they parked also in the garage. It's a 2-car garage, so there's simply no room for my car. So I have just gotten used to parking on the street. And so anyway, there's one parking spot where I always park because for some reason the birds in Cleveland have it out for my car. And they don't go after it when there's like not a tree nearby. So like if I don't park it in this spot, I come out and like my car is just, it's tragic. It's in a destitute state. So anyway, I always aim for this spot. Well, we got obviously a lot of snow recently, and there's a snowbank kind of proximate to where I normally park. And my car has, as you've heard very much now, has been put through quite a lot. There was an accident that I was kind of tangentially involved with. I was not luckily really harmed at all, but my car kind of took the brunt of debris in December. And that came off of the cars that were directly involved in this big collision that happened. And anyway, so I see the snowbank and I'm just like, oh, I'm just gonna like run over the snowbank and kind of just like land in the part where there wasn't nearly as much snow behind a car in this perfect parking spot where birds will not poop on my car. Well, as it turns out, the snowbank, which I didn't think was I thought my car could take it. It was actually concealing within it the same iceberg that sank the Titanic. Because when I drove over the snowbank, it like impaled my car. And when I say impaled, maybe that's a bit of exaggeration because like I don't think anything was actually like pierced, but it like my car got stuck on this big mound of snow and what turned out to be ice.
Oh, and after a long day at work, I would have lost it.
Yes, and I could neither, for the life of me, I could neither like reverse or draw. I couldn't do anything. And I was like, well, ay Dios mío, this is a bad spot to be in. And I'm so close, right? Like my house is over yonder. And I'm like, oh my God. And I'm like not in the road, luckily. So people like traffic could continue to pass by. But I was like I'm wedged and like I'm not at an angle where I can like get out of my car. And also it's stuck. And this very nice Good Samaritan actually saw this all unfold and then like came over and tried to help like dig the car out. And then like he had like a block of wood randomly. I don't know why. But he had one and was like trying to wedge it under my tire so that I could like get a little traction. Nothing was working. And then I spent like the next hour like using like the end of a shovel to sort of like try to break up all the ice. It was just like from bad to worse, right? It was just terrible. And I'm thinking like, oh my God. And like meanwhile, she is an old woman and she has no time for this. And she doesn't have the bandwidth certainly to deal with like, constant like not going anywhere. And so like the battery died and it was just like a whole thing. So I had to call in the cavalry and I called my good friends at AAA and they were like, where do you want your car towed? And I was like, no, I'm sorry. You don't understand. I literally live on this street. I stupidly thought that I could like clear this mound of snow and like that I would just I thought it was just like a nice, like, cause the snow is not particularly heavy. And I was like, it will be fine. And it was not fine whatsoever. And they had to bring the tow truck and then like, so they had to hook it up in the back. And then it was like a whole thing. And they had to pull it like really far. I really did a number. Like oh
my God.
It was a whole thing. And then it was dead. They were like, can you please put it in neutral so that and I'm like, I'm barely getting it. But it's like every time I try to turn it over, it's like, it was awful. And they finally, after they get it out of it's just, laying asunder after this whole thing. And then I popped the hood and they jumped it. And then after that, she was just like, oh, I'm back, but please never do that to me again. We drove it around the block to make sure that it was like intact and everything and not dead. And it was fine. And it got all the way back to Salem in one piece with just another flawless, trip. But
man, she's been through so much.
And I'm just like, thank you. I'm sorry. Like I thought I'm just going to take this like very obviously bad shortcut to parking the car and going probably to the couch to my bed very quickly, but didn't happen the way I planned it last night. So thank you to the Good Samaritan that tried to dig me out. Thank you. I don't even know what his name was. Very nice guy.
Wow.
Yeah. And then also thank you to the AAA tow driver who was also like profusely nice, which is so nice. And he was like, if you have if you're driving somewhere else, I am on the clock until 6 a.m. This was like, it was like 10 o'clock at night last night. And I was just like,
oh boy. Hopefully you don't run into the same problems tonight.
Well, yes, I'm definitely going to be parking elsewhere and I'll just like deal with the birds. Although I've asked for their mercy already. Like this morning, I was like, you guys, I will not be in the spot.
Pooping on your car?
Right. Like I don't know what it is. Like, I'm like, please leave her alone.
You have a white car?
No, it's a teal car. I shouldn't identify it because these milk people are going to come after me. And
okay. Actually, you didn't hear that.
But please don't. As you now have heard, she's been through so much and just needs tender loving care and a car wash desperately because of all.
I think most people's cars.
Yeah. Oh, so bad.
Winter. Yeah. But salt.
Mm-hmm. Right. Which is a preview of what you'll be seeing in the paper next week. But we'll talk more about that then. And that's all I got for my car catastrophe, latest one. So. Well.
The latest one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep,
There will be
accurate.
more. Yeah. So, but oh well.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. Well, Paul, you have a story for us as well, or
I do. I do. I do. So we got in our auction section. I bring you a fascinating but quite heavy at times column in not auction. I'm sorry, our rural section from our buddy Jim Abrams, who we've no doubt discussed very much for his wonderful work in our paper. And this week he writes about a man by the name of R.T. Stewart, who spent nearly 2 decades in a career as an undercover wildlife law enforcement officer with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Division of Wildlife. And it is indeed very, very interesting. He brings us some, I guess, examples of the time that he spent undercover and selections, I think, from his book, which is called Poachers Were My Prey. Which is also like, ooh, what a provocative title.
wow, yeah, it really is. Love that.
Yeah. Chronicling R.T. Stewart's many exciting adventures and the different approaches he took in putting poachers behind bars for their crimes. It also reveals the secrets employed by undercover wildlife officers in catching the bad guys. So just really, really interesting. There are a few funny anecdotes shared in this column from R.T. Stewart's time, like, trying to blend in and like being so nervous, like when he first started, like that he accidentally put a cigar in his mouth from the end that was lit, and he like burned his lip because he was just like was trying to like, oh, I'm totally casual and normal, and I'm definitely a poacher like you guys, and like put the cigar in so he burned his mouth. It was really interesting.
Oh man.
There's also some very not funny times, including multiple instances and occasions of guns being brandished, which he was like, I might die today. That's not how R.T. Stewart talks. I have no idea how he sounds, but that's my interpretation for this, all intents and purposes. And also several instances of animal cruelty, emphasis on the cruelty. Like it was pretty bad.
Boy, yeah, you told me a little earlier.
Yeah, and I'm just gonna spare you guys the details today. But it's absolutely part of the job, and the reason why these undercover officers are doing this is to stop these people from.
Let's give them a little applause.
Yeah, thank you, R.T. Stewart.
Yes, thank you.
And the Division of Wildlife too. So justice is done though, thanks to Stewart's brave efforts. I certainly do not believe that I possess the chutzpah to do what these officers do, but it's definitely worth a read, and you can check it out in our rural section.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
I got one last story for us, Paul.
Oh, hit us, yeah.
And I'd like to congrats Mike Brandley.
Nice, Mike.
Yes.
Good job, Mike.
Congrats, Mike.
Yeah. What
Woo!
do? Yeah, there
I
we go.
love the shouting and then it's a woo! It sounds like they're at
very
like a
excited.
football game or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, Brandley was inducted into the Ohio Auctioneers Hall of Fame at the Ohio Auctioneers Association's annual conference that took place January 8th through the 10th.
Nice.
This is the highest award given to an auctioneer in Ohio, so big deal.
Yeah.
Brandley grew up in Preble County, Ohio, where his family raised cattle and hogs and grew corn and soybeans.
Nice.
He has a master's degree from Ohio State University and attended Missouri Auction School. He founded his business Brandley and Associates Inc. in 1979, and he would later open the Ohio Auction School in 1999, where he still serves as the executive director. So super cool that you opened up your own school. That's like awesome.
That's really cool.
And starting your own business.
Right.
So yeah, at the conference, James Yoder of Kaufman Realty and Auctions was also crowned the 2026 Auctioneers Senior Division Champion.
Wow.
And Jake Alderman of Res Auction Services was crowned the Junior Division Champion.
Oh.
So yeah, there's some information there for you on that event. And to read more about the annual conference, you can visit the front page of the auction section this week or go online at farmandairy.com.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that is our top stories for the
I
week.
think it's that time. To read more, go on to farmandairy.com or check out your local newsstand.
Yeah, and thanks for tuning in. Please stay warm. It's supposed to be
Oh my God, great advice.
so incredibly cold.
Mhm.
It was like 7 degrees when I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay warm, everyone. Make soup and
Make soup. Here for
make
soup.
soup. Yep.
Yeah.
And see you next week.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.